I'm so happy to have you here. I always ask this first question to all my guests, and that is that I want you to introduce yourself beyond how I would have introduced you.
So my name is Maria Escobar, born in Colombia, dietitian, graduated from Canada, live in the US, now in Dubai, and I just been passionate about nutrition and wellness since I can remember. Right now, I own a company called Fit Style Me that is a bunch of wellness solutions. We do mostly nutrition for women and performance. We do corporate nutrition. We also do school menus and reviewing school nutrition. And last but not least, I am a media communicator between the healthcare system and the public. So busy, busy, busy.
In short, what doesn't she do is really the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, exactly, right?
So tell me about before all of that. How what was your first start like? Were you always a nutritionist coming into Dubai, or did you do something else?
No, and I have quite the journey. So I graduated from my dietitian program in 2009. That was a while ago. And worked community nutrition for the government of Canada for a long period of time. And then just got sick and tired of winters. And I went back to Colombia and I started working in pharmaceutical
Okay.
with Abbott, which is a nutrition company.
But yes.
Yeah, and I was working with infant nutrition, with amazing job and amazing company. And I got into sales. I mean, I went for working in the public sector, helping the community, to working in a private on sales. And that was like, what, me on sales? No way. And I got trained, and then it turned out I was really good at it. So obviously sales has a charm that is called money.
It's true. It's true.
And then I started doing really good. So then after that, I just went back to the US. I went back to the US because I went a long time ago. And in the US, I got hired by a person called Grant Cardone.
Oh my God, Grant. Okay.
Yeah. So I was the VP executive assistant of his sales team. So I pretty much ran his sales team. And that was just the master training on sales. It was like almost 2 years that every day you train on sales.
Can imagine.
Yeah, it was probably one of the most high demanding jobs, but at the same time, the highest learning career job you could ever have. So obviously, I mean, it was like quite exciting. But then you start growing a little older and you start seeing that it's not about work, right? Life is not just, how good am I at work? So because of the lack of work balance, then I started looking for other things. Then the NBA, Miami Heat hired me. So I worked with them for a while, which again, what an experience, what a cool job. But keep in mind that the games end at midnight and you have to stay with executives until 3 a.m. And I was already turning into my 40s. I was like, okay, I cannot do this. And then a friend of mine referred me to a private jet company that had an office in Miami.
Okay.
And again, I joined the company. I killed it on sales in my first 6 months.
Of course.
It was like the performance was extremely high. So the headquarters here in Dubai, they're like, we want you here to run pretty much the whole US accounts from here because we're moving all these accounts into our head office. And then when they asked me to come, I was not really looking into it. I put all the demands. It's like, you have to pay my transfers. You have to hire my boyfriend at the time. Now
You're putting all the limitations.
Yes. And they're like, okay. I was like, I guess I'm going to Dubai. And then I got here. And then, the work didn't turn out as expected. So that's when I'm like, you know what? On the side, I always been doing nutrition and people always keep asking me. And I do see the UAE now adapting this wellness lifestyle. Like people are more eager to learn. There's too many expats that don't have the access to the products that they used to, or they don't have the information that they want to have. Sure. So I registered my nutrition degree here in the UAE and I opened my company.
You've lived like more than 9 lives.
Yes.
Mashallah, as we say.
Mashallah, yeah.
You mentioned the degree. Where in all of this did you have time to obtain the nutrition degree, and what sparked that interest for nutrition specifically?
So the interest for nutrition started at a very early age. I come from a very traditional Colombian family. Like, we eat fry, we eat the things that they do think about healthy eating, but they don't really know what nutrition is, right?
Philippines is the same.
Yeah, and I'm blessed with my mom that she did her best of her knowledge and she did a great job.
Right.
But since an early age, I started realizing, Mommy, it wasn't the cookies. Like, she took me to the psychologist because at one point I ate these cookies that they were supposed to be healthy cookies, and I want to know what they were healthy compared to other cookies. And I was like, I'm saying like 12 years old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So since very early, I start kind of like reading about labels and things like that. So the passion started there. And when I moved to Canada, when I finished my learning, my English lessons, I just did like a college program in science. And then I started talking to the teachers, and obviously science and biology was like my favorite subjects, and I got a scholarship. So right away I applied for my nutrition degree, and I would tell you, best decision ever. I will go back to school to take my degree anytime. Like, I just love it so much.
You have such a passion for it, and it shows. Like, it's
Yeah.
reminding me of, like, not to, to make it about me, but like, you could tell when people have that fire in them, that like when something clicks. For me, that was always writing, which is why I was always dying to go into journalism. The presenting was never a part of the plan. I was always shy. I don't know how, but
I
like you
cannot
said,
tell you're shy, but yes, it's good. Like, it goes well together,
yeah,
though.
it's kind of like when you said, with sales, it was something, me with sales, you could never. Sometimes you end up being good at the things you never thought was even for you, which is such a lesson here. I love that you've tried everything under the sun.
Yes.
Would you say you're now like where you're at? Like, is this going to be something that you're going to continue now for the rest of your life, nutrition?
Completely. So again, regardless of other jobs that I did, that was always part of my life. And that's how my Instagram account grew because I was like working with Grant Cardone, but posting out workouts. You know what I mean? Like, that was just always something that, again, is a passion, and it's a knowledge, and it's something that I always want to share with people. So when I got here, and then I'm like, I'm already 43. I don't think I want to explore any other things anymore. I mean, great. I have worked with probably some of the biggest corporations around the world.
Literally.
And it is cool. Don't get me wrong. I think corporate world is really nice, and it works well until it doesn't anymore. And now it's just kind of like, I do want my freedom. I do want to do what I love since the moment I wake up until the moment I go to sleep. So yes, I mean, I'm very well established with my company, and I can tell you it's just going to continue growing. So this is going to be what I'm going to do for the rest of my life.
So for those who don't know what you do, could you explain what that looks like on a day-to-day basis?
Yes.
From like when it started to like your operations now?
Okay. So I started, and the initial of the company was focusing on women's nutrition, right? And I will do a lot of one-on-ones nutrition for women specifically. And I will focus more on women who are busy women, the CEO, the executives, which is also a mom, or like, because these are the people who they take care of everyone, but they forgot to take care of themselves.
So true.
So I was the voice behind all, saying, hey, okay, did you sleep well? This is what you need to eat. This is your schedule. This is what you eat at this time of the day, so you have energy, and that grew very big. That moved me into the corporate wellness, right? Because again, people, the nutrition, most of them, they spend it during the workday. And then how they eat, it really reflects on how they perform. So that moved me into the corporate nutrition or corporate wellness and performance, because they go together. And we go more into like, performance is not just at work, but it's just, doing your best of everything. So now I do a lot of corporate events when I go to the companies and train them on performance in general, like how to just wake up with the right attitude, with the right mindset, what to eat throughout the day, so you're always on your peak of your energy, and how to make sure you wind down at night so you get a good night's sleep and your cycle doesn't get interrupted. And then from there, I move into a few things with the company, because again, I believe in nutrition education to 1,000,000%. And then I was blessed enough to be called by some of the schools that they want to incorporate nutrition education.
Wow.
And this is probably one of the most beautiful projects, because it's like involves parents, involves the teachers, and involves the children. And imagine the kids learning at school how to have a great relationship with food. Imagine them learning about mindful eating, about food sequencing, all those things that as an adult, people struggle with.
So necessary. We did not know any of this, right?
Exactly.
That's why to me it's so interesting that you had those questions at the age of 12, because I know I didn't. I was just like, oh, this is okay. This is fine. Up until now that I'm about to turn 31 is really, I'm still learning about what it means to have good carbs, to have good fats, and the importance of protein and your lifestyle and where that factors in. And that is so necessary to start that from a young age, because you could potentially like imagine the difference that would make in that child's life to start
Yeah.
from early on, right? Because I feel if you by your 20s, I think, have a good nutritional plan for yourself, maybe then the problems won't start coming so abruptly in your
Exactly.
30s.
Yeah. So a lot of people right now are talking about anti-aging or longevity and everything like that. What about if a lot of health issues are prevented from early age because your nutrition have been proper according to your life stages?
Correct.
That is really the key. And we deal with food every day of our lives from the moment that we start eating, which is pretty much the day we're born, until the last day. So why don't not knowing more about what we have to live with every day, which is what we put in our bodies? So for me, that's amazing. And I'm very happy.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy that you're so passionate about this, because we do need more people, especially in this region, that help educate people about it.
I
You know what I
agree.
mean? And use their voice and what they've learned to kind of impart that on this culture, because we love our rice and our meat here
Yeah,
too, as you've seen, as
of
you've probably
course.
seen.
Of course. And I experienced myself. So yes.
So on that note, gut health has been one of the main topics when it comes to wellness in maybe the last couple of years or so, right? Whereas before, nobody really knew the importance of gut health to that
Correct.
extent. Now they know that it's our second brain, and
Yes.
it affects your mood, it affects your
Everything.
anxiety. For myself personally, I was telling you off camera,
Yeah.
I was diagnosed with H. pylori, and I was like, what is that? Blah, blah, blah. The doctors were like, oh, do you order takeout a lot? And I'm like, yes, I
Yeah.
do.
Ooh.
Yes, my whole
Okay.
life is a takeout, rather.
Okay. We'll talk about it behind cameras.
We'll discuss later. So tell me about what you know about that. Like,
Yeah.
do you know the stats right now, specifically in the Middle East?
I
Like,
know about the trends for sure. So I would tell you one thing. When we graduated in my school in Western back in 2009, gut health was one of the things that all the dietitians we talk about. Like it's something that we study very deeply in our program because obviously it's for everything. That's how you digest the food. That's how you absorb the food, the nutrients. That like everything goes there. So for us, gut health is always part of our practice. And then when I live in the US, then the gut health trend was there, right? Like I'm talking about maybe 3-4 years ago, the gut health in the US was a trend. And now it's moving here into the Middle East. I can see why here in the Middle East is definitely something that is not just a trend, but it's a necessity to talk about it and get the right stuff, right products, and right diagnosis. Because as lovely as this country is, it's very different from most of people's countries and nature, the type of water, the type of sleep, like everything changes when we move to Dubai. And that affects to most people, and especially in the gut health. And when I'm talking about gut health, is your like the little warriors, I call them. When you move to a new country, on the first year, you lose 30% of you warriors, I call them. And you need to build them up again. There's nothing you can do about it because you got adapts to where you live. So if you're living in a country that it has different microbes, which obviously had,
yeah.
then your body builds to be resistant to them. And then you move here and those warriors die because they don't have those problems anymore. But while those are dying, there's new problems or new microbes coming into your body, and they need to figure out how to fight it. So that's why when people move here, most of my clients is like, I'm bloated. I'm bloated, I'm bloated, I'm bloated. Like that would seem to be a big issue. I have problems with digestion, or if I have my appetite is changing and things like that. So gut health is something that I think people need to take very seriously in a way that fibers are absolutely necessary in people's diet. People talk a lot about protein. I'm not saying it's not needed, obviously, but I think fiber more than anything is more important than protein, to be honest with you.
That's so
Because
true.
if you do the gut health, if your gut is healthy, then you digest the proteins properly, then you absorb the nutrients of all the foods properly. So gut health is something that we definitely need to take in consideration and not ignore the problem. Like you say, you have these diagnosed now, and before that, a lot of doctors, oh no, maybe you just stress, or maybe you just something.
Anxiety.
Yeah, and a lot of doctors that I talk to, a lot of gastros, I'm telling them, go deeper when you see the patients, because as a nutritionist, I know there's nothing wrong in the nutrition of the patient. There's definitely something deeper than that. So yeah, gut health, there's a lot of experts out there. Right now, it's
I
gastro.
guess you're endocrinologist.
Oh my
Say it 5 times.
God, we need more
Gastroenterologist.
coffee. Gastroenterologists, that are very aware of people's needs and doing the right testing. But in general, for people, I mean, don't forget your fiber is really key on your daily life.
Food for
Food for
thought.
thought. Yeah.
Because when I was telling you earlier, it first started off for me as physical symptoms. Like there
Yeah.
was regurgitation, I couldn't sleep, there was so much gas and bloating. It was hard to consume anything because I
Yeah.
felt like there was something stuck here. Sometimes even when I wouldn't eat anything and just drink water, it felt
It
like
was
there was
right
just food
there.
stuck.
Yeah.
That happened for 2 months. Did the test for H. pylori, got it back, and then I really worked on the gut health, and that's when I
Okay.
really started reading more into it, the type of foods that you consume and what a difference it
Probiotics,
made.
prebiotics.
Probiotics.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, so I was genuinely slowly killing my warriors,
Yeah.
if you will, and it does in turn also do affect your mental health, right?
Correct.
There's a reason they call it your second brain.
There's a very reason. Think about this. If you are just going around the day in your normal day and you have, like you say, bloating, you don't feel good, your stomach, it just changes your attitude towards everything that you're gonna do
Yeah.
throughout the day. So yes, gut health, if your stomach is in place, if everything is working smoothly, everything else can go smoothly. Otherwise, your brain is always telling you there's something, and everything else, is going to be affected by it. So
Correct.
yeah, that really works into your mental health, because if you are in constant discomfort, obviously you're not happy.
Yeah. So for the person that may not be as in tune with their body, let's say, like I wasn't, what's a way for us to know that our gut is kind of, how would you say it's unbalanced, imbalanced? What's a way to know that there's something wrong? What are maybe
Okay.
the first telltale signs?
So first, bloating is not something that you should live with. Bloating, most people think, oh, I'm just going to bloat, like I just get bloated when I eat this food, but I won't eat it again. No, there's definitely something behind it. Again, it could be the lack of good bacteria in your gut. There could be quite a few things that you definitely need to address. Second, you need to go to the bathroom every day. People don't talk about this. It's an uncomfortable topic, but if your digestion is not smooth every day, that's definitely an issue. Third, this is going to sound a little bit more medical, but if your deposits float, there's definitely an issue with absorption of vitamins, and that's something that you need to address. Yes.
What?
Yeah. Because that will mean that you are getting rid of a lot of fat on your stools, and a lot of fat-soluble vitamins can go up with it.
The more you know. Because it's not something we, like you said, it's
People
not something
don't talk about
we
it.
don't talk about it. It's a
Yeah.
taboo. And maybe most people don't also analyze the
Well,
situation.
I know, but it doesn't turn. And I would say to people with the clients, it's like, when you go to the bathroom, just before you flush, take a look. I'm
Just
sorry.
to see where you're at.
Just to see where you are. If it's not normal, meaning that, consistent or consistency, or if it is floating and the color is definitely off, definitely there's something really wrong that you need to take care of.
Especially now with the rise of colon cancer, I feel like this is all, I imagine it's somewhat related, right?
It's totally related, because again, when I talk to these specialists and everything like that, a lot of people live with the symptoms because you can bear them.
Yes. And you
But
don't realize.
after they say, okay, maybe I need to go see the doctor, sometimes it's really late. And sometimes they have chronic diseases that they're not reversible, and they have to live with medication or some kind of special diet for the rest of their lives.
Crazy.
So gut health is extremely important. The same thing as you care for women about your hair, your skin, care for your gut. Literally, is the center of all. You want beautiful skin, you want beautiful hair, make sure your gut is working properly.
And what are the ways to ensure that your gut is working properly?
Hydration, fiber. I do believe in eating at times, meaning that if you have the same times every day or similar times, like within an hour, 2 hours to eat every day, your stomach prepares, is very smart to eat and digest. So you're going to see, if you start eating at the same time every day, first of all, you control your hunger. And second of all, you start feeling hungry because your body is start producing the stomach acids. It start telling you, okay, I'm ready to digest. So imagine if you put food into your body that is ready to digest, you are more efficient. Your
Perfect.
metabolism, it works more, like it works better. So definitely hydration, fiber. Try to eat at the same times a day. Don't eat late at night. That is a killer. And
What's
that's,
late? How late is
I
too late?
wouldn't, I mean, ideally 4 hours before going to sleep. I know. And this is very cultural. I find UAE people eat like late at night and go to sleep. It's like,
Yes. Some of us, not me, of course, not me, will do it as like a genuine pre-bedtime ritual. Like,
yeah.
ooh, this will make me sleepy. Let me have a heavy meal before going to bed.
Ideally,
What?
no, because again, the idea for you, when you are eating, all your blood goes into your gut for digestion. So your body is not really getting the good rest, right? It's just not really ideal for you to eat before bed. I mean, let's be realistic, 3 hours at least before
Okay.
going to sleep. And yeah, and eat a lot of fiber. I mean, again, I know I talk about it. You're probably gonna hear about it a lot. It's going to become viral. I can see the fiber is the next thing after protein. So those are the things: water, eating at times, good fiber, and try to eat at home. As much as you can. Yeah.
Attacked.
Or at least homemade meals. There's a lot of good meal plans out there right now that they use good ingredients. Make sure you verify them. But yeah, always do a variety. Your day should have everything: your vegetables, your fruits, your proteins, your carbs. A day cannot be based on one food group. You need to have them all.
Perfect. Moving on to hormones and women's health, which is another factor that contributes to obviously gut health problems and just overall nutritional mishaps, right? They control everything. And I just want to know, how can one rule out like a hormonal imbalance?
Okay.
Like, what's a way to help with that?
So as women, our hormones are going up and down throughout the cycle, right? And it's kind of difficult to say when they are imbalanced. Most of the time, you won't notice they are imbalanced until you really have severe symptoms, or when you actually get in blood tests and they tell you, oh, your progesterone is low, or things like that. So it's very difficult to really say, oh, my hormones are imbalanced. A lot of people, it's because they're more moody, that's what they say, or like you say, I'm more sleepy and things like that. I think that's how I got popular at the beginning with the women, because resetting your hormone is quite easy. You just need to learn your period dates and go with it. Your workouts should go with your period. There's times for yoga, there's times for weight lifting. Your food should also go with your period. For some women, carbohydrates before the period does well. For most women, carbohydrates before the period should be reduced, because that way you reduce inflammation. So the hormone part is that we as women are more affected than men by hormones, and it can definitely changes our daily life. So I would say, instead of like looking for your hormone imbalance, find first of all balance overall in your life. Are you sleeping enough? Are you drinking enough water? Are you eating properly? And go with your cycle. Don't fight it. Again, those days that you are getting your period or during your period, that you're not feeling strong, that you're feeling a little bit, low, don't go to the gym and lift weights, because it could help, but it may not. Be gentle with yourself. So women's and hormones is something that definitely obviously go together, but I see it most as a positive thing than an issue that women have to deal with, because it's very easy for us to balance our hormones just with healthy lifestyle.
So when you say like working out according to your cycle, what is a good time for most women, and what part of our cycle is a good time, do you think, to work out? Like let's say strength training, for example.
Strength training is after you finish your period, luteal phase, I believe. That's when you have the most strength, you have the most stamina. That's when you go weight training, you go all out.
And what about during your period?
I would say go more gentle. Yoga, more stretching exercises, definitely do a lot more meditation, because again, is your body is going through quite a few things. I mean, understand that the lining of your uterus is shredding and your body needs gentle love. So I do believe that the exercise during this period is important because it will make you feel better. But I think the proper exercise definitely is key.
Amazing. And of course, nutrition also will
Of
play a
course.
part with this. So, what are some hormone happy foods that you think women should have?
So for women who do believe that they have very sensitivity to hormones, there's definitely yams or sweet potatoes. Are really good for it.
Ooh.
I know, and they're so delicious. So that's not a sacrifice at
Yes.
all. Coffee, believe it or not.
But which type?
Cocoa.
Can an iced latte, does an iced latte count?
Well, that's the thing though. When people start doing the iced latte, there's sugar, there's fat, there's everything. I go for like black coffee, you know? Black coffee. Cocoa is really good for as well. Chickpeas is actually very good for controlling the hormones in women, and mostly legumes. Legumes are actually a good source of so many nutrients that help regulate the hormones of women. But yeah, I would say, and dark chocolate.
Dark chocolate.
Go for your dark
That's
chocolate. This is the time. This is the time when you start with those cravings and everything like that. Don't fight it, but don't go for the junky, milky, greasy chocolate. Go for a nice dark chocolate, a nice big piece of chocolate, dark chocolate, and that will help to put things into place.
Fabulous. On an unrelated note, this just came up in my head. It's probably just me asking all the questions I've ever wanted to ask a nutritionist, to be honest. This is my free diagnosis, you guys. You're in for the ride. You're welcome to. Probiotics, the supplements, effective?
Some of them are.
Some of them are.
Some of them are.
How can one differentiate?
Oh, yeah. That's something that I'm struggling with. And one of the things that we do in our company is also help wellness products to come into the UAE. The way we go through this process, I test the products for at least a year to make sure they actually work.
Fair.
And because otherwise I'm not going to recommend something that it doesn't work for me or for anyone else. So unfortunately, probiotics are great and I do believe in them 100%. But go first for really well backup science brands. There's a lot of beautiful brands that look very pretty. They have great marketing.
They have all the
words. But there's
words.
no science behind them. You're like, what? Usually, unfortunately to say, most of those gummies, they don't have a lot of science behind them. They taste delicious. And probably the amount of probiotics you get from them are very, very little. If you want to go through very good ones that you're not 100% sure if you know how to check what is the good one, go for the live probiotics that they need to be refrigerated, that they sell at the health stores, because those are real. Those are live bacteria right there, but they're hard to find. So go for the probiotics that have science backed.
Okay.
Yeah. If come to me. Every time you have questions, I will tell you that one is good and this one isn't, because
Fabulous.
that's my research.
I love it.
Yeah.
So what are some common food habits or lifestyle choices that throw our hormones off?
Late eating. That's one of them. Fasting, if it's not controlled. Fasting is another trend that, again, it works really well for some people. For some other people, don't.
Intermittent, right? It's become a trend. So true.
So, which it works really well for some people, because for people who have struggled taking control of their body, one way to reset it is with fasting, right? When you're fasting, your body goes into shock. So it's kind of like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? What do I need to do? And that's when you start retraining your body to work properly. Fasting is not forever. You cannot tell me you're going to fast for, 36 hours, eat for 3 days, and another 36 hours is not sustainable and it's not healthy. It's going to really mess up your metabolism. But I think a very well recommended fasting would be a good way to, get those hormones in balance. What was the other thing we were saying?
Just that. Just like, what are the other factors, like lifestyle factors?
And the lifestyle factors and sleep. Sleep. I'm going to tell you as a nutritionist, if I know my client is getting a good night's sleep, I know I can control everything else. When you lack sleep, your hormones get off balance. And I'm talking about cortisol, serotonin, and all the stuff. And when those hormones are balanced, it creates all other things that, it's like a domino effect. So controlling the hormones, it starts with a good night's sleep.
Some people are comfortable getting 6 hours of sleep, while some need like 8, 9, 12. Do you think we should go by our bodies and when we feel the most rested, or is there really like a minimum amount for
No,
all?
I think everybody is different. And that's something that, I put into my practice to study every person's needs, DNA and needs, because again, we are all different. Some people are really good with 6 hours. Some people are good with 8 hours. 12 hours is quite a bit much, I would say. but I think a ratio between 6 to 8 hours is okay for most people, and that should be applicable for most people.
Okay. Because
Yeah.
I've been, back in the day, for example, I felt like 9 hours for me needed it. 8 hours, I'm okay. Like I won't be agitated in the morning.
Okay.
But it's kind of moved to 6 hours nowadays.
Okay.
I mean, I have a cat waking me up at 5 in the
Yeah.
morning.
Welcome to the
But
world of pets. Yes.
right?
Yeah.
But other than that, I do feel somewhat rested. So I was just wondering, oh my God, is this because maybe my body's just gotten used to stress, or is it okay that I'm okay
If
with
you
6 hours?
are feeling rested, if you don't feel like you're grabbing more food than usual, because when people don't get enough rest, that's what they do. Like the body's tired, so they're trying to grab energy. But if you feel like it did not change your eating patterns and 6 hours is doing enough for you, it is okay. It is
Yeah.
your body. You resting enough for 6 hours. Your body has adapted to it, and that's enough. It may change in the future.
True.
But for now, if your body's functional with it, that's good.
So it's always really good to study your body and where it goes, because it keeps
Yes.
ebbing and flowing, doesn't it?
I am big pro of self-awareness. And that's something that people, that's why I don't like those nutrition coaches out there that they want to apply the same diet to every single person because it's the trendy and it works for so many people. I was like, what about if it doesn't work for you? What about self-awareness that your body is not happy with it? Like,
Correct.
you need to make your body happy, because if your body's happy, you're happy.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So for people that are busy, women that are busy,
Yes.
juggling things, kids, life, 10 businesses and whatnot, if they are like Maria Escobar, what is one lifestyle change that they could make to overall ensure that, their hormones are in check, their nutrition is in check, and all of that? Just even a tiny one.
Something simple, a planner. A planner. Plan your day. I mean, if you plan your day, your week, life just goes so easy. This is not a nutrition hack. It's not a wellness hack. It's just a reality check hack. You need to see your planner and see, okay, where is the time where I'm sleeping? Where's the time when I'm eating? Where's the time when your brain has everything organized and laid out? Your stress levels go
So true.
low.
So true.
And when your stress levels are low and you know what is coming, and you know that my healthy meal is going to be, available at 2 p.m., there's so much stress you're taking out of your brain.
It's true.
That's why for me, takeouts is a little bit, not just so much about maybe the food not being so good, but it's every time you don't know if your food is going to get there on time, if you're going to like it, if the delivery is going to be a smooth process or not, if you're going to be able to eat it in a proper place, right? There's so much stress
There's
to
so
it.
much decision fatigue.
Exactly.
So
So
true.
a planner is a wellness or a tip that I will give to people to get your life in check. It's not about being in control. It's about being aware and just taking that mental work out of your day, because everything is just laid out for you.
So true. That is the process that I enjoy on my day-to-day basis.
Oh,
I've
good.
been called kind of like the crazy girl since high school for it, because I would
Perfect.
always have a to-do list. Back then it was notebooks, now it's my phone. But I only recently learned this year that beyond just your daily to-do list or planning for the week or what to pack when you're about to travel to remove all that stress, it is really important, especially I think once or before you turn 30 would be best, to look into how you're eating. What am I eating on a daily basis? Log it down, because then you're really seeing, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Finances, and what you do with your day. Like, what
Yeah.
does your fitness life look like? Like, how active are you?
People usually, so when I do my one-on-one nutritions, first I do a questionnaire where I ask like the basic stuff, allergies, food patterns, and things like that. And then I ask them to do a 3-day food log, right? Because people come to me and like, oh, I don't know why I gained so much weight. I eat so healthy, blah, 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 blah. And when I put them to do the food log, then they see that the dressing that they put on their salad that is so healthy, the dressing itself is like 200 calories because they put all Caesar dressing and it's like loaded. So when I start, and they start being very conscious. So yeah, for writers, encourage people to do food logs. Yes.
Log everything as
Log
much as you
everything.
can.
Yeah.
There's a notes app now.
And it doesn't have to be forever. It has to be for a period of time that you realize it. And then after that, you make the changes.
Yes.
And maybe every 6 months, do it again, just to do a little bit of self-check.
Yeah.
Because when you are aware, is when you can find the things that need to be changed.
That's the thing. It's a reality check with yourself, because otherwise you're all confused, right? You have your day-to-day. So you're like, what am I really doing? Oh, no, in general, I eat healthy, but healthy is so different to everybody.
Yes.
What's healthy, what you thought was healthy was probably not healthy all along.
One of my clients, when I asked him, what healthy foods do you enjoy? And he said peanut butter. I'm like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
Like, who said that's a healthy food?
See, I also thought like peanut butter was a healthy thing.
Yeah, I know. There's more fat than protein in that thing. It's just, yeah. I can see what people,
She's like,
I can see what people make peanut butter as a healthy food. I'm not saying it's bad, but just the amount of calories and fat you have, if you compare to other stuff, it's definitely not that healthy. So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah. I know.
All right. Let's go over on wellness myths and the mindset around it. There's so much conflicting advice online. What's the one myth about wellness or nutrition that makes you cringe a little, other than, certain foods?
Those fat diets. And again, the trends about nutrition, like people all of a sudden gluten-free is the way to live, or keto is the way to diet, or like those viral diets that do not work for everyone are really something that kills me. And in social media, there's definitely a lot of uncertified nutritionist coach. I was approached by one.
Oh.
And I was like, she wanted to check my blood sugar levels, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, excuse me, what is your certification? She's like, no, I'm a marketer, but I'm passionate about nutrition.
I was going to say first, the audacity to ask a nutritionist.
Well, she didn't know I was a nutritionist. And that's why I told her, I was like, hey, dear sweet woman, do you understand that nutrition is people's health? Like, obviously, tell and talk to people about healthy eating. Please do. I want everyone to talk about healthy eating.
Yes.
But diagnosing people, giving people advice in their nutrition, when you're just passionate about nutrition, but you only study marketing, we go to school for 4 years and 1 year residency. Like, it's 5 years of learning food science, anatomy, biology, everything, physiology. So I think the fat diets are the one wellness thing that really, I struggle with every day.
Pisses her off.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me nowadays, I wouldn't say that it's like a myth, but I've noticed in the wellness space, while it's great that there is now such a growing wellness space, like in the city or, in around the world, really, the talk has been more consistent than before. Like the word community keeps getting thrown a lot. That's just me. Like it has nothing to do with nutrition or anything, but the word community is overused.
Overused.
And I just think if it's a community, it should be a community and not be charged like 700,000 dirhams to enter.
I agree with you 100%. That's very Dubai thing.
That's just like a random take, But there are some awesome communities here that really do care for people. And I think it's just that. It's when you have conversations with people that you think, that it shows they care.
Yeah.
And it's way beyond what they show on their Instagram. That's kind of the people you should find.
You should definitely move.
So for Maria, I can vouch for you guys. Nutrition-wise, she's passionate. She's, and he knows her stuff. She literally, like you, you know the vibes. You're going to see it in this episode. So if you have any questions, I think definitely reach out to you.
Please. I'm here to help everyone, to be honest with you.
Because it's so necessary. So, random question. Is sugar really that bad?
It is.
Really? There's not even a way out? Not even one bit?
Okay, so I'm not extremist, meaning that if you're going to enjoy a piece of cake or brownie once in a while, it's not going to kill you. It's not going to hurt you. Like, I really don't think sugar is, oh my gosh, I'm going to eat a piece of sugar, my body is poisoned, intoxicated. No. I do believe, and my core of my business is to make your body strong, to make sure that when you have those days, when you have, the extra sugar, when you're a little bit too tired, that your body can go back up and say, okay, reset, flush, detox, boom, I'm good. But yes, if I could take something away from the world, would be the sugar. Yeah. There's a lot of things that make you feel the sweet taste that is not necessarily sugar or artificial sweeteners.
That's true.
Because to be honest with you, between an artificial sweetener and sugar, I would say artificial sweeteners are worse.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
So I rather, if you really
That's
cannot
true.
live with it, I'd rather you use like agave or honey, or well, honey's good. But I'd rather you use sugar than artificial sweeteners.
That's true. Agave syrup is amazing. My
Agave is
gosh.
good, and there's so many monk fruit. There's quite a few natural sweeteners there that definitely, for most people, I would say replace your sugar. Try to get rid of it. And the thing is something that we got used to. Like, if I take the sugar from you completely for a week, and then I'll give you an apple after a week, the apple is going to taste so sweet to you because now your taste buds are like cleansed. Sugar, salt, like heavy flavors is the one that make us crave something even heavier. But when you reset, trust me, all of a sudden it tastes sweet.
So that's the detrimental part about sugar, is that it really changes your palate for other things.
And it makes you crave things that are sweeter. Or, if you eat a lot of fat, you're always going to crave the fat. If you eat salty foods and then you take the salt away, food is going to taste like nothing. So my advice to people is little by little. Little by little. If you have 2 sugars with your coffee in the morning, go to 1. And then take it away until you realize the coffee tastes so good, because the flavor of coffee is delicious without the sugar. So that's definitely something that people need to learn, how to enjoy the food as it comes, instead of like sugar, salt, sauces, and everything like that. One thing is enhancing the flavor. Another thing is completely
removing the flavor.
Yeah,
correct.
Yeah.
And I like what you say about like small, like build on it, like as opposed to like mara wahda, or as we say, all at once, like switching it up. That's how you go back to it entirely.
Exactly.
So now I want to know about the kind of work that you do with clients.
Yes.
How do you personalize your approach for women who are constantly on the go?
Yeah. So again, I go first I give my questionnaire. So I learn a little bit about them, and then I do what is called a discovery call.
Ooh.
Yeah. And at discovery call, I just tell them, tell me what is that you want to achieve. And a lot of people actually get it wrong. A lot of people, I just want to lose weight, blah, blah, blah. No, the problem, most of them, is different behind what they actually think it is. So then discovery call, I just realize where they are at, where they need to get. And according to their personality, according to their schedule, according to the customs, according to the lifestyle, how can I get them to go around that road to get where they need to go? It doesn't work the same for every person.
True.
Some women are so determined that from the day one that you give them a meal plan, that same day they're implementing. Some women are, I did this, but I cheat on this, I cheat on that, which is fine. Again, we are all different. So for me, it goes from a discovery call, and I really personalized. I had a client, she just moved from India, a lawyer, and she has always eaten Indian food. And she was worried about my meal plan not being Indian. So I literally did all the Indian recipes. I asked her favorite Indian recipes, and I just did the changes on the different ingredients, so it will taste almost like, I want to say the same. She said she loved it, but a quarter of the fat or a quarter of the carbohydrates and things like that. And that's how I do it. I really personalize my meal plans because, again, it's your journey, and it should be about you.
That's so good to know that you don't even necessarily have to give up the taste of the culture you grew up around. Because I think for most people, that's what's so difficult, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm half Bahraini, half Filipino, and we love our rice dishes.
Yeah.
We
and
love
I
it.
won't tell you to give up rice. No. I eat rice as well in Colombia. Rice and beans is what we grew up with.
Love.
And I wouldn't give it up. It's just what days you eat the rice and like what times of the day and how much of it, like there's so many things that you can go around to. Again, you will eat probably more than you think you could eat.
Yeah.
And then lose weight, and then set up your hormones, and then control your blood sugars. Because again, the good thing about nutritionists is we study food to the teeth, so we know exactly how your body is going to react to it.
Fabulous. So then what can someone expect during their first session with you, other than like a discovery call, like after you figured out how they are a little bit?
So in the discovery call, they're going to be shocked. Most of them are. Yeah. And then after that, it takes me about, I would say, maybe 48 to 72 hours for me to develop a full meal plan.
Okay.
Because again, I study the person, I develop the meal plan according to the needs of the person. If they have any blood work or anything like that, I go
Oh.
through it just to make sure that, they're insulin sensitive or things like that I can take that in consideration. So after that, I give them a very personalized meal plan. I can show you behind cameras.
Amazing.
I even put pictures of themselves. I always tell them, send me a picture that you look at yourself and you love. And then they send me the picture. So I put it like in the background on the main page.
Oh.
And that way, obviously, it's like a book for them, right? It's like your own journal of what you're going to eat to get to be that person that you love so much.
I love it. I think it's such a great investment on yourself, honestly.
Yeah, I agree.
So if somebody's listening to us right now and they want to start their journey, how can they connect with you or book a consultation?
Okay, so to book a consultation, a personalized now, I am part of iHeal.
Okay.
Which is a platform here in the UAE that brings experienced practitioners of all the wellness world, meaning we have nutritionists, we have hypnotherapists and everything like that.
Lovely.
So personalized, it's going to go through iHeal. They're the one who manages my calendar for those consultations and things like that. And if you want to just learn about nutrition in general, if you want to know about tips, if you want to know about exercises, wellness practices, just follow me on Instagram. That's what I do all day. It's like, do this, it works for me. Or I compare a lot of foods, like for example, those protein bars that 12 grams of protein and it has 14 grams of carbohydrates and it has 16 grams of fat. I was like, you can eat this or you can eat this. And then I do a lot of those videos. So yeah.
And I love that she shares it with us, like on a public platform as well.
I need to. It's again, I just want to make lives easier for everyone. And I do believe when people eat properly, and they're happy with their bodies, life just goes so smoothly. So
true.
It's my goal.
True. So that's at fitstyle.me. If you guys want to check out her posts. I watched one today about like coffee and how you can actually have it 2-3 cups a day. And I was like, ooh, interesting. Yeah, I'm going to go through it even more.
Perfect.
For my last question with you before we head to the other segment.
Yes.
I want to ask you, what is your Burj, which is the dream that you're still building on top of everything we've discussed?
I do want my company to get bigger, not because of my own self satisfaction, but because I want to be able to help more people.
I love it.
One big thing that right now is driving my passion is nutrition education here in the UAE. I mean, if you go to the grocery stores, the labels of the food are so wrong. There's not a standardization on food labels here in the UAE yet. I believe the UAE is going to do a lot about it because I attend a lot of conferences. The UAE is super good about, okay, what can we do better?
True.
But yeah, I want FitStyle Me to be so big that everyone has access to nutrition resources, to be able to learn how to can live the life better and things like that. So I think that's what's right now driving my passion and my oral bush.
I love it. Yeah. That's beautiful. I think when you have a purpose way beyond selling something, it always ends up doing good. The abundance comes back.
It just comes back because if you're helping people, people want to be helped. And if you're helping them, people also want to help you. It just goes both ways. And so far it's working. Again, there's clients that at the beginning, they probably didn't have the money and I still help them. And now they become these huge ladies and Maria, I need to hire you. How much? I was like, well, no. Don't even worry. Let me just hire you for the month.
And it becomes a great word of mouth, right? Like, Maria,
yes.
Like if somebody asks, hey, I need to get my nutrition together, they're like, oh, but maybe it will cost so much.
Yeah.
But then if they know that somebody's there that can still work with them and we can work around your budget, it's, for the purpose of helping you. I think that's a really great thing that you're doing.
If you do it with love, it comes back to you.
Always.
Yeah, in abundance. So that's good.
So now let's start
with this.
The final segment, mirror, mirror. You pick up the mirror. You take you swirl, take one of the papers there. You will get either a past, present, future. And I want you to say something to that version of yourself, whichever one you get.
Past.
Okay, so let's talk to past Maria.
Don't worry too much about everything because at the end of the day, things work out. I'm always been a very stressful person. I always want to make sure everything goes well. And I am learning that things definitely do work out, and you don't have to stress about them all the time.
Yeah, you can just surrender. If you've done the
Yeah.
work, you surrender and it will happen.
Yeah, so don't worry too much and really enjoy every moment, because things do work out at the end.
I love it. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Maria, for joining
Thank
me.
you.
It's
This
been a
was
fun
really
having you on the
Oh
sleepover.
gosh, this was amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for watching Beauty in the Burj.